Welcome to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive into major triads. So we're going to talk about the intervals, how to locate the first, the third, and the fifth, which is incredibly useful to not only understand the fretboard better, but to also improve your soloing and target chord tones when you're improvising. So let's get right into the lesson. First thing we're going to do is start with C major. So our first triad is here. I'm going to play the inversions from this. So root position, third in the bass, fifth in the bass. So we have root position, then we have a first inversion, and a second inversion. So let's talk about what that means. When we start in root position, you can play it like this, or you can use your middle and ring finger. That's fine as well. Those are on the 5th fret of the G and B string. And your first finger is going to play that 3rd fret on the high E string. So we have the root note right here. That's a C. We have the 3rd underneath it, or on top of it rather, underneath our ring finger I mean. So we have the root, the 3rd, 5th fret of the B string, and the 5th stacked on top. Just like that. So that is your root position major triad. That is completely movable, and that determines, well, where the ring finger is what determines the chord. So if this is C, because our ring finger's on C, the root, if I move it up 2 frets, that's D major. If I move that up 2 frets, that's E major, right? So that's a movable shape, just like any of your other triad shapes are. So the next one we're going to look at is a first inversion chord. The 3rd is actually the lowest note. So we start with the 3rd, then we move to the 5th, and the root on the high E string. So that's 3, 5, 1 for the chord, right? What happened was the root note is now up here, the 8th fret of the high E string. Now this just comes from your E-shaped bar chord. We're just isolating the first 3 strings. So that's 9th fret on the G string for the 3rd, 8th fret on the B string, 8th fret on the high E, just like that. So we have root position, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1, like that. Finally, we're going to move to the second inversion where the 5th is the lowest note. So that looks just like this. It's like your D major chord that you learned when you started. You can play it with 3 fingers, or you can choose to bar your first finger and use your middle finger as well there. So let's break this one down. We have the 5th on the bottom, the G. We have the root sandwiched in the middle, that's a C note. And the E is the major 3rd on top. So that's 5, 1, 3, just like that. 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1, and then 5, 1, 3, just like that. So the good thing to remember if you feel overwhelmed right now is that the triads only have 3 notes, so you can only do 2 inversions. So there's only 2 possibilities there before you just end right back in root position, an octave higher. So that breaks down your major shapes on the first 3 strings, which is really one of the most likely places that you're going to use it for improvisation. So let's say we want to target a note for improvisation. If we use this inversion here, first inversion, an idea we can use with the pentatonic, or this, we're accentuating that root there. We're targeting the root, the C note on the top. We can do another thing here. There's a lot of things you can do in this position here as well, in that second inversion, right? Targeting that root again. So that's a great way to think about how you can use these in your improvisation. So next we're going to take a look at the next set of inversions on the next 3 strings. So let's start here with the C chord again. We're going to pull from the A shape. The difference is this time we're just going to be barring on these 3 strings here, the D, G, and B. So our first finger is going to be playing the 5th fret barred, okay? Now let's talk about what's happening here. Well, we have the 5th as the lowest note, we have the root, and then we have the 3rd on top. So that's 5, 1, 3. Okay, and that's your second inversion. That's no different than this. 5, 1, 3. So that's really important to understand that the order is not going to change here. 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3. Next, let's go to root position. We know what root position is going to be like. So again, this comes from our E shape. So we have 10th fret on the D string, 9th fret on the G string, and first finger playing the 8th fret on the B string. This is 1, 3, 5. In the same way that right here, 1, 3, 5. In fact, those are the exact same pitches. You can hear they sound identical. The only difference between these two, the gauge of the string there and how the pickup is adjusted, it sounds a little bit thicker when you play it on the lower string. So that's something to look out for when you're listening to records, learning something by ear. You may want to just think about, where are they actually playing that? What's the practical place to play that phrase in relation to where the chords are? That's really up to the artist. That's up to you, where you want to put things on the fretboard and where you want to map it out. But knowing these things makes it really easy to do that. Let's talk about the final shape here, which comes from our C shape bar chord. So the next inversion, we're up here, and it's going to be very similar to what we did before. 3, 5, 1. This is our first inversion chord here. 14th fret on the D, 12th fret G, 13th fret on the B string. So 3, 5, 1. So why don't we play through all those inversions together now? I'm going to play each note individually, then I'll play the chord. We're going to do quarter notes for this, so I'll demonstrate what that sounds like. Now, of course, when you do this, I want you to play this very slowly, because I'd like for you to understand the actual intervals and call them out. So 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1, 5, 1, 3, like that. Now, a good way to actually use these shapes musically is to play a triad and sort of add a fill around it in the corresponding pentatonic position or major scale position. If I'm thinking C here, the most likely place I'm gonna play is probably playing around with something like that can really help get those creative juices flowing and can help you realize where you're targeting licks on the triad. Maybe for the E shape here. So that's a great way to kind of explore how you can play around each position. And after this video, I would love for you to just take some time to explore each chord shape. Memorize where the first, third, and fifth are, but also how you can play around it. You can find interactive notation synced up with the demonstrations, as well as a downloadable PDF on my Patreon, so be sure to check that out in the description. Leave a message down in the comments if you like theory videos like this, or you want more song videos. Let me know what you want so that I know what to make. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.